haven't pre-ordered F1 2017 just yet, guys, don't forget to check out Simply Games for a brilliant price as well. Be top link down in the description, guys, and if you order through that link, you also help me out. Hello everyone, and welcome back, guys, to episode 2 of my F1 2017 McLaren Honda career mode, guys. And if you did miss out on the first episode, guys, that we did earlier on today, do not forget to check out the little eye icon at the top right of your screens. There will be a link back to that video, guys. It was a crazy race, so I would highly recommend going back and checking it out, as well as the fact I sort of tried to feature as much of F1 2017 as I possibly could, guys. But if you did obviously watch that episode earlier on today, I can only thank you enough so far, and I'm looking forward to getting through the rest of the career mode, guys. There will be a few spoilers now, so if you haven't already clicked away, it's your fault, not mine. But basically, yeah, at the end of the last episode, we did speak to Jonathan, who wanted to give us a go in one of his old F1 cars. So hopefully, we can kick that off for today before we then move on into the Bahrain Grand Prix, guys. It's looking strong so far, this career mode. We've actually scored points in the first episode, which was basically a miracle. I'm not going to deny that, but, it still worked out quite nicely for me, but hopefully we can try to have a look at Jonathan's cars. I think I might have missed the opportunity now, which probably isn't ideal, but still, let's move on then. Next weekend, I don't know if we'll get the chance to do it now or what, but if we've missed out the golden opportunity to drive some classic Formula 1 cars, then I'm going to be a little bit annoyed. You probably will have seen it already on other people's channels. I do know it is the Renault, I always forget the name of it, it's the RA26 or something, isn't it? That's probably a BAR, to be honest, but yeah, you get to drive that around Suzuka short, but I don't think, we're not going to be able to do that. We're going to move straight on then into the Chinese Grand Prix, guys. Hopefully, this track probably won't suit the McLaren Honda once again, because it's got a straight, so this is not looking particularly ideal, but for the rest of the track, actually, this car should actually work quite nicely, to be honest.
You'll be interested in those performance upgrades we discussed after the last race. They're on the car and the data looks promising. Take a look at the details.
So which upgrade have we been able to put on the car then? We have got the general wear, so increases durability of power unit components as well as gearbox by 10%. So that is very ideal. We should be able to take those. I'm aiming to get them to Monaco ideally, but we'll have to wait and see. So minor impact, 1 out of 1. But let's have a look then on the laptop. We'll have a look at the R&D tree. You can see that we are ever so slightly moving up in the world, guys. But obviously you've got the durability now, so I need to go back in on that. We can either update the the internal combustion unit, increased by 30%. That is a very tempting upgrade. The turbocharger wear, energy store. I presume these are all just wear on different parts of the car, guys. So we can do one of those upgrades, and I think the MG UK sort of suffered in the first race, so I think we'll go with that for now in this phase, and we'll leave that ready for next race. I might be able to upgrade another couple of parts there, because we should be able to bank some good R&D in free practice, guys. But let's move on then. Free practice for the Chinese Grand Prix.
Stuff. You pretty much nailed this.
It's going to be purple there then, so that's always a good start for the weekend, and that'll be a nice 50 R&D points there. But yeah, perfect way to get into the next weekend of the season. If we can smash through these objectives nice and quickly, bag as many points as we possibly can early on, that'll be very ideal. It looked like I wasn't able to nail the S section there, which probably should be the strongest point for this car around this track. But let's move on then into the tyre management test. This one will probably be a little bit longer, but it will make sure I can test my consistency a bit more. Through the final corner, though, this lap hasn't been perfect there, but I'll be happy to take home 30 R&D points from that.
Tyre wear is more or less as expected.
And see how much time we just lose going down the straights. But into the final corner of the lap, we are going to beat the objective by 0.6 of a second.
Beats our primary target time.
So it still reckons we would have come 19th there, which isn't ideal. But yeah, wanted us to go another second faster, and I think we might have struggled to find that time nice and quickly, guys. But there we are then. We've bagged a nice bit of R&D points there. I don't think I'm going to opt to go with the race strategy this time, just because tyre wear around here and things, and there is quite a chance of safety cars, you know. You can't really predict it too well, but we've still bagged 130 R&D points there, so that should be another upgrade.
38.6.
But having a look at the Sebastian Vettel currently in a provisional pole, and I am only 3 seconds off him. I'm 6 tenths quicker than my teammate, but he's on a better he's on a lot worse compounded tyres. But that's going to be the end of free practice, and let's move on then into qualifying for the Chinese Grand Prix. That was definitely not the line I intended to take through turn 1, but I don't think I've really lost out too much time from that. That was a pretty big skid, to be honest with you. That will have shredded the tyres like no end, but I don't think we'd have really done much damage to the rest of the cars. Bottas goes into the 33s. That is ridiculously fast. We're already over a second off in sector 1 alone.
Before you run out of fuel, pit within 2 laps.
The back end just keeps breaking away at the moment. That is definitely not ideal. And drag it around here. Ricardo fancies moving out of the way. Come on, move. Just try and take a nice tidy line. Ricardo, come on, what are you doing? Oh. No idea what Ricardo was doing there, but that has ruined my run, to say the least. Now I'm going to have to try and find my own space back around the circuit. I'm going to try and go last man out, to be honest. We'd found about half a second there, to be honest. But the tyres are already facing a bit of wear there, which isn't ideal. But yeah, no idea what Ricardo was doing there. That's really, really annoying there. You know, everyone's trying to get on their runs, I fully get that. But sometimes you just got to give other drivers the space when you know they've... Well, I'm on a run, so you should have. Any last tenth of a second that we possibly can. Trying to floor it as early as possible as we come now down into the final corner. Big snap of oversteer there. That's cost me a bit of time, but...
Sorry about that. Just wasn't our day.
P18 still in the end there. Bit gutted, to be honest. The team wanted me to get 15th, which I think was a bit unrealistic. But yeah, let's just have a look then. Bottas on pole. Hamilton, 8 tenths off his teammate. That is not good from him.
We're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of people all very, very tightly knit around the 2.2 second margin. Both Force Indias, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Palmer, Grosjean. We got a little bit of a gap down to Carlos Sainz and Kvyat as the Toro Rosso seem to struggle. I still ended up 3 tenths off my teammate there, which is a little bit gutting. But yeah, we made that our final lap. There was still quite a few mistakes there. The back end, when we get to the end of the race, when we're on light fuel, that back end is probably going to come back and really, really be a bit tough. But anything you can try to do to eke out the last couple of tenths. But there we are then. P18 for the Chinese Grand Prix. It's going to be a long old race, I feel.
Okay.
Here we are then. Oh.
I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
I think the team still expect us to do. So they reckon we can one-stop this though. But yeah, I think the team still expect us to go, like, try and get points again, and it's just not going to be possible here. But a 28 lap race. So I'm going to give the car 30 laps of the fuel. We're just going to try and drag that first in as far as we possibly can, and then just see where it can leave us. Oh, there is a rain. There is rain. There is rain. Right, back to a set of the softs I go then. And so there is rain in the middle of the race there. I've only just noticed that. So that could make it very, very spicy. If we can take these tyres to the rain and then, you know, hopefully have a good little showing then, and then obviously back onto the dries for the end of the Grand Prix. This could get very, very spicy indeed. But here we are then. the start of the Chinese Grand Prix. A lot of drivers still opt to go on a set of the softs, but it's 5 lights. And it's the lights out, and away we go, and off to a fairly decent start in comparison to my teammate there. Going to try and have a look. Well, we're already past him, down towards someone there. Verline has got off to an absolute worldie there. We're going to try and have a look down at the inside of a couple of cars there. A bit of contact between a few drivers as we're just trying to find my own room on the inside here. A bit of contact as I got punted out wide there by Perez. Not too sure what that was all about, but we find ourselves side by side with Nico Hulkenberg there, ahead of Carlos Sainz. But oh, they just caught me out there under braking, so we're going to go down the inside of a big collection of cars there. But we locked up absolutely massively there. Isn't ideal, but we're up to P13 once again there. So this is just like the Australian Grand Prix in that sense, but we got Palmer just up the road, and hopefully we can try to keep up with him, but we'll have to wait and see. The rain is also going to have a big effect on this race, as we've got Perez already trying to look back down on my inside. Go for it, please. It's just so we're not side by side. Perez very, very slow on the exit of that corner there, so I won't have a run on him because he's got Mercedes power unit. But if we can just stay in the slipstream, give ourselves a bit of a defence from the Toro Rosso behind. We're running very, very low downforce around here. Going to try and get as close as we dare to his rear end there, but braking nice and early. Just so I get the car slowed down in time. But we've overtaken a Force India down a straight in a McLaren Honda. That is something for the record books, I feel. At the end of lap 1 of the Chinese Grand Prix there. That is a good, strong start to the race. But Perez is still looking very, very feisty there. He thinks about a move into turn 1 there, but thinks better of it as we're still struggling to keep the rear end in line as we do engine brake just a little bit. Really struggling to put the power down at the moment. Yeah, you can just see there how much I'm having to fight with the car at the moment. We got DRS though, which should give us a little bit of defense against Perez, but everyone in front sneaking around all over the place. Perez looking down my inside. He's gonna have the car still parked there. I feel a bit of contact, I think, has been made. I didn't personally feel anything, but the game certainly did that. But we still hold on to P13 for now. I think Jeff came in with the radio a couple of laps back saying that Magnussen, who is at the front of this little train, is having issues.
The conditions. The track is getting wetter. Recommend you stay out for now though. Be much slower if we move on to inters this early.
So Magnussen, as I was saying, yeah, I think it'll, as I get, oh, I've tagged Palmer there accidentally. Oh, what's he doing? We're just going to slip by then. I sort of punted him out a little bit wide, and I don't think he was a fan of that. So we're going to try and look right around his outside through the next corner there. Right around the outside we go. Up to P12 now of the Grand Prix, and as long as Magnussen can keep holding Ocon up, that'll help me out a huge amount, to be honest. I don't have sort of 1 lap pace, I think it's safe to say, in this McLaren, but race pace, this car feels pretty damn strong, to be honest. Trying to just put the power down as we come onto the back straight. I don't know what Magnussen's issue is, so I don't know if it's power or what at the moment, but all I want to do is just take advantage of it as we come down the long back straight. Now the Haas is very quick in a straight line, credit to it. As I just about run into the back of Magnussen there, just let him know that I'm there, if you will. And I think, are people either pitting for wets, or are people just pitting because of tyre wear? If they are because of tyre wear, then that's basically ruined their races, to be honest. Massa is in, that's all I know, but we're going to try and look at the inside of Magnussen, down in towards turn 1 here. I'm going to go for the move I did on Palmer just 1 lap ago. Up the inside we go, up to P9 we go. Oh, there's been contact behind between Magnussen and Palmer there, so that's a bit interesting. I just saw that out of the corner of my eye there, but Palmer moves up to P10 as well. So he's looking very, very strong in this race so far, but the track is forever getting more and more wet, but we might not actually ever need the wet tyres, to be honest, because it's not meant to get very heavy with rain. So, but at the moment, you know, it's all about just guesswork. Felipe Massa out of the race. Not what he would have wanted, to say the least.
Behind is now running the super soft tyre. That's the super soft on the car behind.
I'm fully aware of how much quicker Sebastian Vettel is than myself. Just no grip anymore. Like, the tyres are not shredded, don't get me wrong, but in comparison to a Ferrari like that, it's a much quicker car on a much fresher set of much better tyres. It all adds up at the end of the day.
The car behind has boxed for the mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre.
And Ricciardo now flies by. He's gone very, very defensive. I have certainly not broken off there. That has been a costly error. The actors unfortunately slipped by there, which isn't ideal. But we want to try and get the position back off him. Even more drivers are still pitting.
Moving to mix 2. Fuel to mix 2.
And we have just got ahead of Max Verstappen now. My teammate is in. I'm trying to trail brake just to try and not kick the back end out too much. Come on, car. This is a very tough test at the moment. Come on.
Alphonse coming into the pits now.
I'm going to pit now onto a new fresh set of the mediums to take us to the end of the race there as I struggle. But yeah, onto set mediums we go. And it's going to be interesting to see where we do actually come out in the grand scheme of things, to be honest. 2.6 second pit stop, got a little bit held because of the Haas car there. But P13 it's looking like... Oh, I clicked the wrong button, loads there. That's cost me a position to Perez there. I kept clicking A rather than Y on my wheel, that's not ideal. But we've come out ahead of Palmer still, but behind Perez. But we are on a fresher set of mediums, so this should help us out quite nicely. I don't know who that is. It is Lance Stroll, so that will put me up in the points now. Back up into P10 we go. This is very, very ideal for me. If I can, I think, to be honest, if I can close Perez, that would be very, very ideal. But if we can score points 2 races in a row, that will be pretty damn special, to be honest. Because, as I was saying, this car far from a good point scorer. But we seem to just be able to put it at the right place, at the right time. And that's all that really matters in Formula 1. 75% of the way through this race, though. Perez is starting to gap me a little bit, but he's closing in on the car ahead of him. So, you know, if they can have a bit of a squabble, that would be very ideal. I think, actually, it might be Ocon. It is just ahead of him there, so Force India's going to have a bit of a spicy battle. That'll help me out. Kvyat is started to close the gap in ever so slightly, but I think he's going to be locked into battle with the Renault, which I think is Palmer. But I don't know for sure. But I was saying about 5 laps back that the McLaren is feeling strong at the moment, and well, that's all sort of gone away now because it's dried up again. The track dried very, very quickly, so it's the McLaren's lack of pace once again is beginning to show. So unless we see sort of Perez and Ocon have a bit of a scramble, this could really show the McLaren for its true pace once more. I doubt we're going to be able to hold on at the moment. We're probably going to cause an almighty train. And down to about 15th, I feel, can probably close back up to me. Don't actually know where Stoffel is at the moment. He's actually P16, so I think We're safely going to finish ahead of him, to be honest. But Kvyat now, looking down my inside. It's not ideal. Going to try and swing it right back around his outside there. A bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. And just look, even the Toro Rosso has got so much better drive than myself. Not ideal. Just not ideal, but back out of the points we go then in the Chinese Grand Prix. It was too good to be true to happen twice. Well, it depends, anything can still happen in the last 5 laps of the races. We pushed Kvyat through turn 1, turn 2. Sainz might actually have a good run on him now. But we're just going to have to go to the inside. Everyone's lighting up the fastest times. But we are all out defence at the moment, as we're going to try and... We can't really shut the door on Sainz there, to be honest. Going to go back down his inside though. But yeah, this is... It's gone sour right at the very end, to be honest. 4 laps to go in this Grand Prix. We're going to need a miracle if we're going to hold on to these positions.
22.5 seconds.
Sainz down the inside, just going to have to back out of that. Nothing I can really do about it now. This car, we ran it up in the points once again there, but unfortunately it's not going to be a points paying position. Kevin Magnussen now just soaring by. Everyone's going through these yellow flags out. Not too sure what's that all about. It's Sainz has got an engine failure there. So we've actually not really lost out on a position there. Virtual safety car. Doesn't really help me. Not going to bother pitting. No real need to. This is the first VSC I've had on this game. So hopefully, you know, it sort of all works out. I've lost out a lot of time already. So the Delta, very, very quick actually. I'm still losing out time. Don't really want to have to lose myself too much, as I've nearly binned it. That was a big slide, to say the least.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag.
Yeah, we got green flags back out. I did ever so slightly blip under it at one point there, but we do hold on for now. We've got Lance Stroll, who is next up behind me. Daniel Ricciardo out of the race as well now, so it's all going wrong for Red Bull right at the very end. Both, well, their Red Bull and their Toro Rosso car, both pulling off to the wayside there. That's going to give me back another position there. But it's still definitely not going to be enough, and I feel that we're going to lose it once again back to Lance Stroll over the next couple of laps, but we'll have to wait and see. P14 though, I'd still be, you know, happy to hold on to. Well, it would be P13 really, because obviously Ricciardo's car, but yeah, both of them pulling off to the wayside in the final couple of corners as well, so not a good day for Red Bull. Got Stroll with just over a lap to go, looking all over the place to try and find a gap as I make a big slide out onto the long back straight there. But Stroll is going to be able to move through. So I'm going to park it in the middle of the road, see where he goes. But yeah, Lance Stroll up into P12 there, so back down to P13 I go there, but I'm still, you know, I can try and have a look around the outside. In through the final corner there. He does shut the door on me there. But yeah, I sort of want to have a little bit of a race with him, but I think, to be honest, he's on a fresher set and a quicker set of tyres than me, but I sort of just want to battle him for a bit of fun, to be honest. We got Van Dorn that is the next car behind me, he's still about 17, 18 seconds back. Can I try and slip back at the inside? I'm going to go for it. It won't really make any difference in terms of points. But hey, what can you do? Just want to sort of have a bit of fun with him in the final lap of this Chinese Grand Prix. Stroll, once again though, he's going to have a brilliant run out through here. Just going to stick to the racing line there. No change of directions in braking zones. But I'd like to hold on. Kimi Räikkönen though, wins the Chinese Grand Prix there for Ferrari. Obviously, had a bit of a disappointing result, not as disappointing as Mercedes, albeit at Australia. But Kimi Räikkönen then, the second race winner of this F1 2017 season. He'll be very happy with that, I'm sure, and that could obviously boost him massively overall in the standings there. But Stroll is still all over my gearbox. Hamilton got fastest lap right at the very end as well. But this is, you know, we just got to try and hold on down this long back straight here if we are able to do so. Fortunately, we don't have enough fuel for Rich Revs there, but we're going to go very, very defensive on him. You know, just push the car to the inside. They're going to duck back into the slipstream. Just look how quick that Williams is. I'm not going to be within dive bombs distance in the final couple of corners of the race there. But yeah, Lance Stroll then unfortunately does hold on to P12 in the Chinese Grand Prix there, guys. Unfortunately for me, P13, we were looking like points were on the horizon, but unfortunately just didn't have the pace in the dry there, so unfortunately
We'll see you in Park Fermé.
I'm still happy with P13 there. You know, I think Australia, we definitely got lucky with the result there. So to get P13 in the Chinese Grand Prix, I think I'm still personally very, very happy with that. Obviously, it won't give me any more points on the board, but you know, we've got a few that should hopefully keep us propped up for a few races.
The Maranello team today.
But yeah, Ferrari
And as
race
you can see, it's
race
time
winners
for the
with
podium.
Bottas
The drivers make their way
and
out.
Vettel on
There's
the
a
podium.
familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari.
First race win of the season for Ferrari in the new generation. Mercedes, yet still haven't won a race. They've only been on the podium once as well. After Bottas, you know, that's very, very ideal for him based on his bad fortune at Australia, where unfortunately he did DNF there. But Raikkonen, very, very happy with that
So
at the end of the day. But yeah,
result affects the drivers' championship. It was
Lewis
the best
Hamilton.
weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
It's got to be Romain Grosjean. He was in another league for me today. Really impressive.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. We saw a dip in form from the championship leaders today. Their lead has taken a significant blow. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, what
Yep.
a weekend.
Oh, sorry,
that has
Crofty.
been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula One season.
But yeah, obviously, Mercedes will be happy they've actually put points on the board there. Verstappen, who was the championship leader, I think will still be in the lead overall after that fourth place finish there. With Hamilton in at P5, they're still not able to overhaul one of the Red Bulls there in that race. As Crofty rightfully said, Romain Grosjean doing very, very well there to score 8 points for the Haas team there. Force India, both cars up in the points once more. Toro Rosso managing to get, obviously, Kvyat there, and Hulkenberg just about got 1 point there with Magnussen, Lance Stroll, myself, Van Dorn, Verline and Ericsson and Palmer there, unfortunately a lap down after a few issues during that race there. But the Red Bull of Ricciardo, Sainz and Massa there, so two of the podium finishers from Australia, both not able to make it to the end of that Grand Prix, guys. But the standings there, Verstappen still lead by 6 points there, with Bottas and Massa, and Romain Grosjean tied for third place there, if you will. Grosjean doing very, very well to keep up with the big guns there. Still ahead of Sebastian Vettel there. Sergio Perez is just nestled in there nicely as well. Ricciardo also on 15 points there. Hamilton still P10 overall, but we are tied with Nico Hulkenberg in the standings as well. For McLaren F1 team, and then as you can see further down the order, Magnussen, Stroll, Van Dorn, Verline, Sainz, Ericsson and Palmer still the only drivers yet to score. We're back down all the way to 9th place there overall in the constructors, but we're tied with Renault, so effectively they're in a net 8th place there. Red Bull still lead the constructors 6 points ahead of Scuderia Ferrari there, and Force India still up in P3 overall after the first two races of the season, guys. But hopefully you know you have enjoyed this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe for more of my F1 2017 McLaren Honda career mode, guys. There will be an episode going up tomorrow morning, guys, obviously after the double episode today, as well as the fact there will be a start of another career mode on the channel as well. So yeah, as I said, so much stuff coming to the channel over the next few weeks, guys, so make sure you don't miss out on it.